My dear children. So today we are going to continue our second chapter. That means a gift of chapels. And the first chapter we discussed about one story, and then after that again we discussed one poem. Then second chapter also we have one story and one poem. So now we are dealing second section of the chapter A Gift of Chapels, part 2. So part 1, last class we completed. So what are the things we discussed in the part 1? We discussed about Ravi. We saw some characters. Who are they? They are Ravi, Lalli, Meena and Mrudu, and also their grandparents. So now we are going to move on our part 2. So mainly we are going to discuss about a music master and a new character. Who is that? Beggar. So part 2 we are going to discuss about a music master and beggar. Have you remember about that music master? Last class we discussed about a Lalli is trying to play a violin. So one music master also tried to teach Lalli violin. Then so we can look at the textbook. Take page number 22, second part. Mrudu crept up to the window. Lalli was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin. You want to listen that picture also. Awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of music master. He had a mostly bald head with a fringe of old black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring glittered on his hand, and it glided up and down the stem of violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered vesti edge, and he was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. He played a few notes. Lalli stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. What a difference! The music master notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of the train fitting smoothly into the rails and whistling along, as Ravi said. Mrudu started at that huge, weird hair moving effortlessly at the violin stem, making lovely music. Swag! There was a Lalli drilling again. Okay, so from this paragraph, we can get one picture about a music master. So in this picture, you can see that Lalli is playing violin, and also music master is here. About his cloth and about his head, everything we can visible from this picture. And the Lalli, just listen or just compare these two people. That means very concentrating. Lalli is playing with very concentration, but her shoulder, how she is placing that violin. Look at that. It's an in order way, but music master very clearly he was doing the violin in a very proper way, and he can what are the things as a characters, two characters are there, and the music master features how we can get from this picture. He is a bald head without any hair, and also in his ear we can see the old hair is falling, and one diamond ring, one necklace with in his neck, and about his dress. It's an old fashioned dress. One tuft means this an over through his body, one tuft, and also he was very enjoying the violin. Okay, so you want to understand how we can say something about a music master. So through that picture you can see that the Mrudu and Ravi and Meena, they were looking to the people. They are peeped through the window, isn't it? So Mrudu, because Mrudu is very excited. So she wanted to know what happened inside, isn't it? Mrudu peeped through the window. She saw Lalli holding the violin. So from that picture we can understand the Lalli holding the violin in proper way. Then the music master sat before her. He was beating time on the floor with his big toe. He played a few notes and he started to few notes. Notes means you know that music, in music some notes are there, some simples you can see. Then Mridu was impressed, but Lalli was clearly not able to learn much. But Lalli was not in a good way. She doesn't know how to play the violin. So that's why Lalli is little confusion how to play in a proper way. But Mridu is very interested, isn't? Then suddenly what happened? One sound. Amma came a wail from the gate. Amma, oh, so one calling. Somebody is calling. Who is that? Just imagine. That is our beggar. Okay. Then Ravi sent the beggar away. Cried his mother. So actually what happened was, nowadays we have some fear about the beggar. We don't know what they are going to do. Actually, maybe sometimes they are original beggar, but at the same time, we also have some doubts. Maybe is there any other any other people like that way? We are also some strange feelings, very strange, while the beggar came to our house like that way. Ravi sent the beggar away, cried his mother from back veranda. So mother told that Ravi, when beggar came to our home, so you just told to beggar go away from our house. Where she was chatting with Tapi. Tapi already we saw from the first section, and that Rukumani, who is Ravi's mother, Rukumani. So Rukumani is discussing something or talking with Tapi. He has been coming here every day for the past week. So mother complained about that. That beggar always came. Last week also, the beggar came to our home. And it's time. Sometimes we felt some disturbance while always the beggar came to our home. And it's the time she found another house to beg from. Party explained to Tapi. So Party told that why this man again come to our home. So just tell him to go any other house. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden. But Mridu and Meena went into the garden. At that time beggar was in garden, making himself quiet at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree. He had one cloth and he used that cloth to sit there under the one tree, and was leaning against his trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the ants to appear. Go away, said Ravi sternly. So Ravi told that you just go away. My party says it's time to found another house to beg from. So Ravi told to the beggar, you can go any other house. My party told me to. You don't want to come to our house. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. So at that time beggar gazed means looked at very closely looked at that two children. Then the ladies of this house, he said at last in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. So at that time beggar told that that ladies means that ladies of that means grandmother and Rukumani. That people are very kind to me. Then why they are talking like this way? He asked to the children. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity of a whole week. I cannot believe that they would turn me away. I am sure that the beggar told that I am very sure that they are not that type of people. They are not told to me to turn away from this house. He raised his voice, Amma, Amma. Again he calling that ladies. Sad his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. And I am very tired. He told that I am very tired. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in this bare belly and came moving out of his mouth with his few remaining teeth stained brown into the beetle chewing. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani. So the beggar, actually the intention of the beggar is that he wanted to get some food or something from the home. So that's why again this man was sitting in the garden. Then Ravi tell him there nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani. So Rukumani called Ravi and he told to Ravi that there is nothing in the kitchen. And he is not to come again. Tell him that. Then also you want to tell that you don't want to come again. So she sounded fed up. We can understand that her voice is fed up with that man. Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar, but Ravi is very shy to tell all the things to beggar. It's something insulted, isn't it? That's why. Then what his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. I will go, he said wearily. So at that time he became irritated, and the beggar told that, I will go, you don't worry, I will go. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. The sun is so hot. The tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. So the beggar told that, after some time I will go, because the sun is very hot and tar has melted road. Now if I enter into the road, my feet became very blistered. He stretched out his feet, show large pink, feeling blisters on the soles of bare feet without any chappals. So that's why he became very sad. How can I enter the road without this chappals? And also this, what is the condition? What's the climate? It's very hot. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Meena and Meena to Ravi. So Meena is very sad, because children, they are very sad hearing something like that. So children are very sad, and they told that, I suppose he doesn't have money to buy any chappals. So children became very sad, and his feet were larger than Mridu and Meena. So the beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. That means he's going to ready, and he's doing something to go. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road. Very fearfully he looked at the road, because the road was melted, gleaming in the afternoon heat. So afternoon heat, we know that afternoon how much hot in the road. He needs something on his feet. So he told that, I want something. He needs something on his feet, Meena said. So Meena was very kind to that beggar, and she told that he needs something on his feet. Her big eyes filling. It's not fair, because that man was going. That's why it's not fair. We want to give something to him. Said Ravi, I'm thinking about it. So you just keep quiet. I'm thinking about that thing. Blubbering. It's not fair. It isn't going to help. So that man is going. We want to do something. Otherwise, he was very tired and he was very sad. We want to do something, because that man have no money to buy any chappals. Then in 2 minutes he will be frying his feet on the road. Frying means very hot. His feet was frying on the road. That much hot in that road. What he needs in the pair of chappals. So where do we get them? So they are thinking about from where we can get one chappals to give to him. Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena to the house. So the children are going to search the chappals. Is there any old chappals? If they get, they are ready to give that chappals, because the children are very kind to that beggar. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. So what's the title of our story? Gift of chappals. So now you can understand why this chappals became gift. Okay, so listen. So do you remember that first time while Mridu entered their house, at that time she noticed one black old chappal, is it? So now Mridu is remembered about that chappal, and just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu eyes fell on the old looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those? Mridu told that, who's that chappal? One black old chappal I have seen from the veranda. Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby looking but sturdy old slippers. It's very old slippers. He beeped and nodded. These are just the right size, he said, picking up them. So Ravi told that these children's chappals, they are not suitable for that man. So they get the suitable size to give that chappals to beggar. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. So they took that old chappals and just dropping that old chappals into the front of the beggar. So what's the reaction of our beggar? Is it happy or sad? He was happy or sad? Okay, we can look at that. Wear these and don't come back. Then Ravi told that, wear these chappals and you don't come back again. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left muttering, blessing the children. In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. So, beggar was very happy. Very suddenly, he took the chappals and he very fastly he went from that home. And he looked very closely to the children. So, quickly he went out from the garden. The music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree. Now these children are sitting under the tree, and at that time music master completed his class and he came out from the house. Playing marbles, then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. Then he is searching the chappals he put down on the veranda. Lalli, he called after a few moments. At that time, music master started to search his chappals and he didn't get the chappal, so that's why he called Lalli. She hurried up to him. Have you seen my chappals? My dear, I remember having kept them here. Okay, what happened? Our music master is searching his chappals and he told to Lalli, have you seen my chappals? My dear, I remember having kept them here. I thought that I kept my chappals here. I can't see my chappals. What happened actually? We can look at. Ravi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lalli and the music master searched every corner of the veranda. Ravi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lalli. Now Ravi and Mridu and Meena, they are very silent and they are watching what are the things going there. And the music master searched every corner of the veranda. He scurried around, looking over the railing, crouching near the flower pots. Look between everywhere he was looking. Brand new they were. Then he told that actually this chapel was very old and black with full of dust, very dirty chapels. Then he told that brand new they were. It's very new chapel. I went all the way to Mount Road by them. It's a very new chapel. He went on saying, the cost of all month's fee, do you know? You know that's very costly chapel. 1 month's salary I give for that chapel, for buying that chapel. That much it was very costly. Then soon Lalli went to tell her mother. Now Lalli was very upset because one of her teacher and he lost his chapels. Very difficult for the family. That's why Lalli went to her mother. Rukumani appeared looking harassed with the party following her. Rukumani also felt very irritated because it's very difficult for their house. Where could they be? It's a really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. It's very upsetting because someone stolen chapels. This is very difficult for their family. So many vendors come to the door. Worried party. Party also told about vendors means passengers. They are walking through this road. So we don't know what happened actually. Party told. Rukumani caught sight of Ravi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree. Have you children? She began, then seeing where curiously quiet, went or more slowly. See anyone lurking around the veranda. So our 3 children, they are very silent and they are simply watching. So at that time Rukumani asked to that children, have you seen any person? They are taking the chapels. So actually what was in the mind? Actually they knew that because they gave that chapel to beggar. Understood? Then, seeing anybody lurking around the veranda, a sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another striped tiger on. So they became very afraid because they are given that chapels to beggar. And Rukumani was angry. Now Rukumani understood that something happened to that the children. They did something wrong. Then she wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with the soles of his feet. He tried to tell herself. Taking a deep breath, she cried, Rukumani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing. He had such boils in his feet. At that time, their children started to talk. Children started to tell the truth. They told that Rukumani, one beggar came here. His feet is full of blistered, and so that's why, like that way, they have started to tell the stories. Okay, actually, അവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി. എന്ത് മനസ്സിലായി? രുക്കുമാണിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി കുട്ടികൾ എന്തോ പണി ഒപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വളരെയധികം പേടിയായതുകൊണ്ട് കുട്ടികൾ എന്ത് പറഞ്ഞു? അവർ സത്യം പറയാൻ തുടങ്ങുകയാണ്. ബെഗറിന് കാലിന് മുറിവുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ ചെപ്പൽസ് ബെഗർ ഇവിടെ വന്നായിരുന്നു, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ അവർ പറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങി. So said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi, you gave the music master cheppals to that old beggar to turn us here? Rukumani wondered, and he asked to that children, you gave that cheppals of the music master to that beggar? Children, these days, grown party. Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna, who gave away everything he had, even his gold earrings? He was so kind and generous. So these grandmother and the grandmother became very angry, and they are talking, why you gave music master cheppals like that way? They are asking to, they questioned these three children. So what happened? The children became very sad, and they told the story of Karna. Who is Karna? Karna was a very kind person. നിങ്ങൾ മഹാഭാരതത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ക്യാരക്ടറാണ് കർണ. അദ്ദേഹം എന്താണ്? അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കവച ഗുണ്ടങ്ങളൊക്കെ ദാനം ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ this children talking, Amma, you always told about the story of Karna. He was very kind. Then why you told him like this way? Then silly, snapped Rukumani. Karna didn't give away other people's things. He only gave away his own. So Rukumani told very humorously, Rukumani questioned that Karna gave only his own things. He didn't give any other things to others. Then, but my cheppals wouldn't have fitted the beggar's feet. Ravi rushed brashly on. Ravi told that my cheppals that they were not fixed for that feet. That's why I given to that music master cheppals. And Amma, if they didn't fit, would you really not have minded? Ravi said to Rukumani, very angry now, go inside this minute. So Rukumani was very angry. Then Rukumani told her, you just go to inside. She hurried indoors and brought out Gobu Mama's hardly bone. So Rukumani get inside the home, and he take another cheppal, that was Gobu Mama's cheppals, because she wanted to give one cheppals to the music master. Then only he can go from his home. These should fit you, sir. Please put these on. So Rukumani told her, you just take this cheppal. Otherwise, this is fit matching for you. So you just take it. Then she told a story to him. The music master's eyes lit up. He put them on, trying not to look too happy. Well, I suppose these will have a to do. So actually music master cheppal is very bad, but instead of music master cheppal, he get very good cheppals. These days children have no respect for elders. What to do? A Hanuman incarnate. So the music master told that in these days children are not a good children. No respect to the elders, like that way. Only Rama can save such a naughty fellow. Then he told only Rama can save these students, these naughty children. Rukumani's eyes flashed. She didn't seem to like Ravi being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. She stood stiff and straight in front of, because Hanuman incarnate means this music. Rukumani told her this music master called Ravi like a Hanuman. Then it was clear she wanted him to leave quickly. Then when he had clattered off his new cheppals, she said, Nudu, come in and some tiffin. Honestly, how do you children think such a things? Thank God your Gobu Mamas doesn't wear his cheppal to work. So that means Rukumani told thanks to God, because if Gobu Mamas wear this cheppal today, she can't give this chapel to music master, but he is always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and his socks and get into his chapels. What's your mama going to say this evening? What the mama is going to say this evening when I tell him I gave his chapels to music master. So while mama is, and mama means maybe Rukumani's husband. So while mama understood this fact, at that time what was his reaction? The Rukumani is wondered and they are started to laugh. So I think you understood this story, and read the story and complete all the notes. Okay, thank you.